Hi everyone, I'm here at Esher Common in Surrey and I'm after Brilliant Emeralds. All my audio equipment is playing up, so I'm improvising, shall we say, so it might be a bit noisier than normal. We had a bit of fun with dog owners this morning as well. I think I've glimpsed a Brilliant Emerald. Let's go and see if I can find some more and avoid getting soaked by a dog.
Found a spot away from the main footfall with some branches overhanging the water, the sort of habitat favoured by emerald dragonflies, and there was a reed bed not too far away as well. The first dragonfly I caught on film was this emperor as it whizzed past, and if you've watched my previous emerald dragonfly episodes, you'll know filming them is a frustrating process, with lots of nearly shots, with long waits in between for the patrolling male to come back round again, and of course others staying off in the distance. In fact, in this case, so far off I'm not 100% sure they were emeralds. But eventually I got enough of a look to confirm I'd seen a brilliant emerald, now to try and film it. A male emperor started patrolling, and I filmed him while waiting for the emeralds to come back. It was a bit distant for good footage though. This duckling provided a nice distraction too. Then my secluded spot out of the way wasn't quite so secluded anymore, as a dog jumped into the water right in front of me. I escaped, but my camera bag got wet. Luckily it was zipped up. Still, it was better than some of the other spots with a constant stream of swimming dogs in the lake. Then an emerald appeared and hovered in the one area of dark shadow, of course. Then I managed to get some good footage. Among the dragonflies, brilliant emeralds have a somewhat unique distribution in the UK. There's one population in the south of England, particularly around Surrey and Sussex, and another population in the Highlands of Scotland, and no populations in between. It's been theorised that the Scottish population invaded first, and then a second population invaded at a later date, and that is the Surrey and Sussex population. There was this male black-tailed skimmer, a species normally found perching on the ground, but here was sitting on a reed stem. It would take off and chase away the brilliant emeralds, used as I was trying to film them, of course. After a good half hour of no activity in my secluded spot, I decided to risk the busy path. There were a few big carp swimming around near the path, but as I got to the far corner, there was plenty of dragonflies flying around too, and I did start to get some footage. The dog entered the water about 10 metres away, and one of the couple with it asked if it was okay and if they were disturbing what I was trying to film.
No, it should be fine. Yeah, it's a dragonfly out there, so as long as it doesn't...
I stupidly thought they meant just paddling by the bank, at which point the second of the couple lobbed the ball right where the dragonfly was flying. Might as well have aimed for it. You can see the splash from the dog here in this footage. I wouldn't have minded, but there was a good 50 to 100 metre stretch to choose from, but they had to do it exactly where I was standing. Apparently, according to the owner, it was where the dogs go for a swim, so I guess that means it's my fault. Mind you, what do you expect from an owner walking a long-haired black dog in the middle of a very hot day? Perhaps unsurprisingly, I decided to quit at that point, and met up with a friend of mine who knows the site very well. We walked round some other parts of the site, but it was very dry as the drought was starting to take hold. But we did manage to see my first southern hawker of the year, and a golden ring dragonfly at another pond that sadly had been damaged by dogs, despite the dead hedge that had been put up around it, which of course someone had mysteriously ripped down. I went to head home, but the traffic on the M25 was pretty dire, so instead I parked up at Bouldermere. This is a large, seemingly shallow lake, and there were hundreds if not thousands of damselflies flying over the surface. I got a couple of glimpses of a brown hawker as I walked along the shore, before I came across this grey wagtail. It was sat on the shore wagging its tail away before a quick feather shuffle, and it was off, looking for insects to eat. Out on the lake there were some common terns, and in a loose clump of rushes there were these common blue damselflies, easily identified from this angle by the lack of a Canagrian spur, which is found in all the other blue damselflies in the UK. It was having a good clean before it swiveled round to give me that classic looking round the stem view. A bit further round I could see the tern raft, with a few chicks and an adult on board. There was periodic bickering between the adults, and every so often one would come back in with a fish for the chicks. Then, in a gap in the reeds, some more brown hawker activity, two interacting, and a flyby, some of the best footage I've got all year of this hard to film and photograph species. Back at the clump of rushes, I filmed the common blues some more. This one took off, and landed again, before proceeding to clean its wings with its abdomen. An often overlooked species, but it's always worth a closer look. A four-spotted chaser had landed on a dead reed mace in front of me, just before I passed back past the grey wagtail spot. It was still there. I had jumped up onto a dead branch and was having a good preen. I started walking the other way around the lake, where the bank was more open with less vegetation. Here there was a male red-eyed damselfly defending his perch, sometimes taking off, but always returning to his chosen spot. There were a few in this area. This one had a patch of floating weed. It took off and caught something before returning to its chosen spot to eat it. You can just see it chomping away on a small insect. And there was a third male that had chosen a floating leaf as his perch. And of course, a bare-banked lake in July is going to have some black-tailed skimmers. Not only a male, but also the mating pair that were sat on some floating weed, and a second pair on the bank, who sat at such an awkward angle I couldn't film them very well. All in all, a good day out. I got my brilliant emeralds, and I got some half-decent footage of brown hawkers, so I call that a good day. I don't think I'll rush back to Esher Common unless I get an incredible urge to be covered in dirty lake water by a dog. Give the video a like if you enjoyed it, please, and do subscribe if you want to see more of the Dragonfly tour. Very soon I'll be covering my trip to Scotland, so you don't want to miss that, and I'll see you in the next video.